Meghan's original Netflix director quit over creative differences. Oscar-nominated filmmaker walked out after couple were uncomfortable filming at their home. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle first hired an Oscar-nominated director for their still-to-air Netflix series before they had a falling out and she left, it was claimed today. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex had turned to Garrett Bradley, director of the critically acclaimed Netflix series about tennis prodigy Naomi Osaka, but they reportedly clashed over the direction of the show. A TV insider told the New York Post, Garrett wanted Harry and Meghan to film at home and they were not comfortable doing that. There were a few sticky moments between them, and Garrett left the project. Harry and Meghan's own production company captured as much footage as they could before Liz Garbus was hired. Garbus, who was also due to work on the Duchess series Pearl before it was scrapped by Netflix, is a left-leaning documentarian and filmmaker and also helmed the last season of The Handmaid's Tale, which earned her an Emmy nomination in 2021. Harry and Meghan Markle's Netflix documentary is expected to air within weeks. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex are reported to have tried to push it back to 2023 despite the streaming giant paying them a rumored £100 million, £88 million, for the Fly on the Wall series. There have been mixed reports in the US, with Deadline insisting the show will be delayed until the new year, citing bosses being rattled and blinking first because of the backlash over Season 5 of The Crown. But insiders insist it will be next month. But Page 6 reports there will be no postponement and the show will go on in December, citing a source close to the project. The insider said, "As far as I am aware, the docuseries is still going ahead later this year." The show has made waves on both sides of the Atlantic and it is expected to cause fresh turmoil for the royal family. Harry also has his memoirs, named Spare, on the way. Royal experts claim these two bombshell projects have prevented any reconciliation with King Charles or Prince William. But after the Queen's death, the Sussexes were said to have wanted to downplay much of what they have said about Charles III, Queen Consort Camilla, and the Prince and Princess of Wales in their documentary series, according to a previous report. Meghan Markle even appeared to distance herself and Harry from their upcoming and controversial Netflix documentary around a month after Her Majesty's death. The Duchess of Sussex suggested that its direction is now in the hands of left-leaning filmmaker Liz Garbus, even if it means it may not be the way we would have told it. She said in a magazine interview, "It's nice to be able to trust someone with our story, a seasoned director whose work I've long admired, even if it means it may not be the way we would have told it. But that's not why we're telling it. We're trusting our story to someone else, and that means it will go through their lens. It's interesting. My husband has never worked in this industry before. For me, having worked on Suits, it's so amazing to be around so much creative energy and to see how people work together and share their own points of view. That's been really fun." Liz Garbus has been involved in a host of other TV and film projects about oppressed women, notably including Girlhood, which follows two female inmates, victims of horrific violence and tragedy, who are serving time in a juvenile detention center. She has also had control over a documentary about the life and legend of singer, pianist and civil rights activist Nina Simone, as well as a film called Shouting Fire, Stories from the Edge of Free Speech. Meanwhile, the director's Instagram page is openly political, with recent posts surging for women's abortion rights and comments about brilliant Democratic gubernatorial candidate Stacey Abrams. But a Netflix source added that the streaming platform was standing by the filmmakers who want to keep the content in the project, and that it will still be going forward. Previously, one Hollywood industry source said the couple were facing doubts about the series following the Queen's death. They said, "A lot of conversations are happening. I hear that Harry and Meghan want the series to be held until next year, they want to stall. I wonder if the show could even be dead in the water at this point. Do Harry and Meghan just want to shelve this thing?" they added. A Netflix insider also claimed, Netflix has been keen to have the show ready to stream for December. "There's a lot of pressure on," Netflix CEO, said Sarandos, who has the relationship with Harry and Meghan, to get the show finished. The new series of The Crown is also reportedly set to cover the hours before Princess Diana's tragic death in Paris in August 1997. William Shawcross, the Queen Mother's official biographer, branded the series odious and deliberately hurtful over an apparently invented scene where Charles tells the Queen she should be thrown into jail for being a bad mother. Netflix this week added fuel to the fire by refusing to add a disclaimer to the series stating that the scenes, branded malicious by another royal expert, are not fact but fiction. Meanwhile, according to The Sun, even crew members are concerned in relation to the scenes depicting the lead-up to Diana's death, with one reportedly saying, "It feels as though a line is being crossed." One source close to Prince William told the paper they expect the Prince of Wales will be angered by Netflix's move to reproduce his mother's final days for entertainment purposes. Netflix insists Diana's death, in a car crash in the Pont de l'Alma tunnel in central Paris, will not be recreated in the new series. The Crown, created and written by Peter Morgan, has been a hit for Netflix since it was first released in 2016. But a source told the Daily Mail this week that Morgan had become increasingly uncomfortable as the series of The Crown edged closer to the present day. They said, "The truth is that it was easier to write the earlier series because, firstly, there is a wealth of historical documentation, plus a consensus over more of what happened, and you can be more broad-brushed dramatically and people don't find it hurtful." Depicting the lead-up to Diana's death, with one reportedly saying, "It feels as though a line is being crossed." One source close to Prince William told the paper they expect the Prince of Wales will be angered by Netflix's move to reproduce his mother's final days for entertainment purposes. Netflix insists Diana's death, in a car crash in the Pont de l'Alma tunnel in central Paris, will not be recreated in the new series. The Crown, created and written by Peter Morgan, has been a hit for Netflix since it was first released in 2016. But a source told the Daily Mail this week that Morgan had become increasingly uncomfortable as the series of The Crown edged closer to the present day. They said, "The truth is that it was easier to write the earlier series because, firstly, there is a wealth of historical documentation, plus a consensus over more of what happened, and you can be more broad-brushed dramatically and people don't find it hurtful.